and good afternoon. And you're watching the 123 and part of the Gaming Fix Network at the moment until maybe we get a little bit more traction. Of course, I started this whole thing with my nose is really itchy today. Sorry about that. Wow, that is terrible. Yeah, my nose is going to itch all through the broadcast. I don't want to be itching it all this time. It's going to be really annoying. I don't have an answer for that. Now that's right there, just itched. Anyway, moving on. My host was Julio, and we did the show for a while, and then I started doing it on WPMD, where people make a difference. And now we're a video show and do a little bit of a wrap up of the week before you watch Raw. And I'd like to give you about 30 minutes, and hopefully you get close to that today. I had to have my lunch. I don't know why, it just really hit me. So basically been eating this time. So that's why we're about 13 minutes late. But let's get into it instead of talking about jibber-jabbering about this or that or the other thing. So today we're going to talk about the superstar of the week. And I don't know if we have talked about this superstar or not. So I think I'm going to go with one I know I haven't talked about because we just found out about him. And today we're going to talk about, well, that's right. That's not how we do that. Okay, so we're going to talk about the superstar of the week. Of course, the name would be really difficult to say. And of course, my thing is just going off the rails with the plus and stuff. And I can't read it. I don't know what the heck is wrong here. I don't know what's going on. Is it going to go up again? I'm going to reset it back to where it should be. Okay. Julian Messiski, born September 20th, 1989, better known by his ring name, Ethan Page, is a Canadian professional wrestler. Signed All Elite, currently teaming with Scorpio Sky. He's a two-time Impact World Tag Team Champion with Josh Alexander as the North. One-time PWG World Tag Team Champion with Josh Alexander. Forming the tag team Monster Mafia. And one-time Evolve Tag Team Champion with ACH as the Troll Boys. Okay, now it totally makes sense why they're putting him in a tag team. I did not know that. Interesting. All right, so he began his professional wrestling training under the tutelage of Rip Impact and Ernie Moore in 2006. He stated he didn't learn much during this time, instead gaining the larger part of his early experience on the road while traveling with Michael Elgin. That makes sense. Whom he credits as his mentor. He made his professional wrestling debut on November 12, 2006 at a Pure Wrestling Association, so PWA, event in Brantford, Ontario as Julian Logan in a four-way match. Page, Sean Cassidy, Alex York lost to Indie Soldier. On December 30th of 2013, Page and Elgin as Men of the Year defeated Kung Fu Manchu and Zero Gravity to capture the AAW Tag Team Championship at One Twisted Christmas. He began wrestling for Evolve in 2014 at Evolve 84 and faced Zack Sabre Jr. for the Evolve Championship, in which he came up on the losing end during the summer of 2017. Page teamed up with ACH as the Troll Boys on September 22nd at Evolve 92. Troll Boys defeated the Lethal Enforcers, Anthony Henry and James Drake, to win the Evolve Tag Team Champions on September 23rd at Evolve 93. The Troll Boys lost the titles to Doom Patrol, Chris Dickinson, and Jaka on September 28th, and it was revealed that he is no longer with Evolve. On May 22nd, 2005, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla held its annual one-night Dynamite. Apparently I put a splinter in my finger or something, because something, I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. That's great. I love cutting my finger or that. I'm actually gonna really quickly give this a look-see. Nope. Yep, the light is no longer working anymore. Oh, okay, maybe this one. Oh, but it's not plugged in. Oh, no. I'm trying to see what I did. I can't see. Anyway, moving on. I'll figure it out. I might have just cut my finger. It's really hard to see. I'll have to look at that later. All right. Ring of Honor held its annual night Dynamite Denverite Tag Team Title Tournament. Monster Mafia, Paige and Josh Alexander defeated World's Cutest Tag Team, Joey Ryan and Candice LeRae, in the first round, winning the PWG World Tag Team Championship. In the process, Monster Mafia were eliminated from the tournament and lost the titles to the Beaver Boys, Alex Reynolds and John Silver, in the second round. That's interesting. They were the Beaver Boys. Who knew? Ring of Honor. He worked a number of matches for Ring of Honor in 2014 as Ethan Gabriel Owens. On April 18th, he defeated Zazu Maddow in a Future of Honor match. On April 25th, in a match taped for ROH TV, he was defeated by Silas Young. On June 6th, the first night of Road to the Best in the World was held in Carbondale, Illinois. He was defeated by Tommaso Ciampa. On June 7th, the second night of Road to the Best in the World was held in Charlottesville, Illinois. He defeated Zazu Maddow on the opening match. And on July 18th, night 2 of the Summer Heat Tour was held in Cincinnati, Ohio. He lost a 4-way match, which was won by R.D. Evans, and the match also included Matt Taven and Moose. On July 26th, the match taped ROH TV, teaming with longtime tag team partner Josh Alexander as Monster Mafia. They fell in defeat to then ROH World Tag Team Champions Red Dragon, O'Kyle Riley, and Bobby Fish. That's really good. But look at who they went up against, the pedigree on that. On September 6th, the All-Star Extravaganza 6, Moose and R.D. Evans defeated Monster Mafia. The Decade, Adam Page and B.J. Whitmer, Caprice Coleman, Antaki Watanabe in a 4-corner Survivor Tag Team match. Early appearances. Page made his Impact Wrestling debut on November 30th episode of Impact, portraying a character named Chandler Park, who is storyline cousin of Jason Park. On January 4th of 2018 episode of Impact, Park defeated John Boland in his first match with the company. On the January 18th episode of Impact, after being destroyed by Congo Khan as a part of Kong's feud with Abyss, Park would be removed from TV. Now using the Ethan Page ring name and gimmick, he returned on the August 4th episode of Impact by interfering in a match between Rich Swann and Matt Sydal, costing Swann the match and aligning himself with Sydal, reestablishing himself as a heel. On the October 16th episode of Impact, Page made his in-ring debut where he defeated Trevor Lee at Bound for Glory. Page and Sydal lost to Swann and Willie Mack. In early 2019, Matt Sydal parted ways with Impact Wrestling, thus ending their alliance. The North. On April 12th episode of Impact, Page reunited with his former tag team partner in independent circuit, the debuting Josh Alexander, as the two formed a new team called The North and made their in-ring debut as a team by defeating jobbers El Reverso and Sheldon Jean. And on July 5th at the Bash at the Brewery One event, The North defeated the Latin America Exchange, Santana and Ortiz to win the Impact World Tag Team Championship for the first time. They would retain the titles for over a year until they lost it against the Motor City Machine Guns. The North regained the titles at Bound for Glory, but lost a few weeks later against the Good Brothers. In preparation for his departure from Impact at the end of his contract, the storyline began where Page began to blame Alexander for their losses, causing the breakup of the North. Page made his final appearance at Hard to Kill, where he was killed by his alter ego, the Karate Man, in a cinematic match. So did he fight himself? That's not good. Okay. After leaving Impact Wrestling, he signed a 3-year contract with All Elite Wrestling, making his debut under the Ethan Page ring name on March 7, 2021. A Revolution as the mystery entrant in the Face of the Revolution ladder match. In a losing effort on March 29th episode of AEW Dark Elevation, Page formed an alliance with Scorpio Sky. And they've been currently beating up on Darby Allin and Sting. Good times. Good times. So that is our Wrestler of the Week. I am going to talk about something a little bit just before we get too much into what's going on. And obviously we have Double or Nothing coming up. But I wanted to talk about how sometimes kayfabe can become reality and how I'm very concerned about what's going on. And I wonder if this is going to lead to something real. And it bothers me because I think it's not right. I remember very vividly a speech with Vincent McMahon where he was, playing a heel manager, and he said, and I quote, that what would you like to see? Would you like to see WCW this dream match or this dream match? What would you like to see? And then he looked and he's like, well, you ain't going to see any of it because I'm going to shelve it. I'm going to take WCW and I'm going to shelve it. I'm going to take all those tapes and I'm going to put them on the shelf. And you'll never have WCW ever again. Ha, 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 ha. And of course, this was a work. This was, designed so that this was, just an in-storyline thing. But the reality is WCW is no more. And we don't get to see WCW matches. And the WCW company has never been really fully brought back by McMahon. Even with the invasion, it was ECW, WCW as a mix. It was more about his kids and more about the brand split than it was about WCW. And now I see Kenny Omega's statement. Well, first we start with Brandon Cutler and the things that he said about Jim Ross, because Jim Ross was saying that them flipping over onto each other is stupid. And it is stupid. It makes no sense. If it's a match, why is this weird cooperation thing where everybody stands in a little like they're bowling pins, and then somebody always flips over backwards onto them, and it's just like, yeah, this is just something we do, so deal with it because it's cool. It's not cool. It's stupid. It needs to go. And if you're one of those people that think, oh, it's okay, it's just wrestling, you're just getting a little bit too heated, things should make sense. And if they don't make sense, then they shouldn't be on TV. The storyline doesn't make sense, doesn't work. Hey, you don't believe me? In what is it, 30 minutes now? Well, no, it's going to be and what? 23 minutes from now, you're going to have proof. You're going to be sitting there watching Raw going, well, why are we doing all this? Well, this doesn't make any sense. And you'd be like, oh, is this wrestling or what? And then Jim Ross had the audacity to say that he thought that was bad. And by the way, Jim Ross has been defending AEW from all the people that have been saying that it's, there's this issue or that issue or whatever. You're one of the all-time greats. What are your thoughts on it? And he's been really pretty the word is loyal. And to me, it looks like, even though it's like in storyline, you have 3 vice presidents that I don't care if they're heels are sitting there saying bad things about Jim Ross now. Kenny Omega just tweeted something, basically, chastising Jim because he said the WWE Championship or whatever, and sometimes words can be mixed up, but he wants to make that a big deal. And basically, this to me just looks like the vice presidents are ganging up on Jim Ross. And another thing, I really do feel like the vice presidents fed FTR to the Young Bucks. They won. They could have made a lot more money on it, made it a real match, but instead they decided to just give them the title with a no fans match and not give them a rematch or anything like that. And it was piss poor. So now I feel like they're trying to sandbag Jim Ross, and I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate watching BTE and having Matt Jackson say bad things about Jim Ross, and it's okay, even though he's been loyal to your company, so you should shut your fucking mouth. And if your plan isn't to push him out, if your plan is to still keep him, you should definitely be defending him, because trust me, your fans are sitting there, they're saying things about him too, because they are so stupid that they don't even respect the pedigree of Jim Ross. Because they think that he just ought to call a match a certain way and just buck up, even if he is sitting there defending AEW, even when it's doing things that are just patently stupid. And I'm angry. You need to stop attacking Jim Ross. Yes, sometimes he's trying to put over the match as best he can, and sometimes it may not be the way you like. But the reality is, if you give him something really stupid to work with, then he's got to do what he can. But kayfabe, or regardless, you need to stop bringing down Jim Ross, because this is not what he needs right now. Unless he's already, closed his contract with you. But I'll tell you this, if you guys push him out, you're going to lose someone who's a fan and someone who covers you, because I guarantee you that if you do Jim Ross dirty just as bad as McMahon did when he tried to push him out because of cerebral palsy, I will have absolutely no faith in AEW. Oh, and Kenny, when you use terms like cuck, it makes you sound like one of those stupid conservative MAGA assholes. So if you aren't, you probably shouldn't put that stuff in your Twitter. All right, so let's see. Before we go and figure out and book Raw, and that was a little bit of a stone in my craw. I had to get out there. Yeah. But hey, if you like the program, actually, before I do that, well, yeah, you could go on to TeePublic stores/gaming fix and buy one of those shirts. And if you do, it really helps us out. Yes, so what we're going to talk about first is kind of the AEW show here. AEW Double or Nothing card, and kind of, I don't know, like I'll give my picks the way I think it's going to go. And that's going to be in Jacksonville. And right now it's May 30th. So I guess it's next weekend. But actually, maybe it's this weekend. I don't know. I'm a little confused by that. Anyway, it's going to be Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern. So what was that? Be Pacific? Be 7? Yeah, I guess it'd be 7 Pacific. I'll have to find out. So anyway, the matches are, and we'll go with, let's see, we'll go with the small ones first. Wow. Yeah, I guess we'll just go down the line then. So probably the, well, we'll go, yeah, I'll just go 9-1, I guess. Okay, so we have the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, the Scumbags, versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. I'm really starting to dislike the Young Bucks. I already disliked them anyway, and I thought the fact that they booked themselves to win against FTR, kind of without giving them a run for their money, showing that they were definitely a match for them, was kind of lame. And I have no respect for them because of that. And their book, and then also what I've heard about their political leanings. I'm not a big fan. And also the way that they fight, it reminds me a lot of Hogan, and the way that they politic backstage reminds me a lot of Hogan. So never been a fan of Hogan, so I'm not really a fan of the Young Bucks. And, maybe things will change. I used to like, it's like being elite, some of the Young Bucks stuff, but I feel like now they feel really phony to me because I don't know. It really puts me off. So anyway, the Young Bucks versus Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, and versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. So this is for the World Tag Team title, and I mean, honestly, it seems to me it's just a no-brainer that you'd have to put it on Jon and Eddie, because right now Jon Moxley doesn't have a title, and it just seems like that would be your smart choice. I would go with that. As to what will happen, I don't know. You know what? I'm going to say the Young Bucks retain just because they keep misbooking things, and I'm guessing they're going to do that again. Then we have Sting and Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page really do need a win, but I think if they do, then it'll probably be Darby Allin that eats the pin. I'm guessing with Scorpio Sky. But it's kind of a throwaway match, so hard to say. But I'm going to go with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page is going to win that one. Then we have for the Stadium Stampede match, we have the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle. So let's see. We had the Pinnacle win the Blood and Guts match, and so I'm going to say that they're going to bounce it around a little bit, and that the Inner Circle is going to win this time. Especially since the Inner Circle has to break up. I think the only reason that the inner circle would break up is if Chris is going on tour and they've already got like a pinnacle ready to go, and they could easily either add some of those members to the pinnacle, or to put them individual might be a good idea. Like, I definitely think I could see Sammy and maybe a small team of Sammy and Santana and Ortiz could be kind of good, like the Mexican Gods or something like that. Some kind of a little break off. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the inner circle. Probably is gonna win that. Then we got Miro versus Lance Archer with Jake Roberts. I think Miro will retain because Miro just got it, and I think it'd be really strange to just give it to Lance Archer after all this, if that's their reasoning. I don't think Miro's going to be that good of a chaser. I think he looks good as a I'm always going to win kind of a character, and just feed him people, basically. He's going to work best as like their Brock Lesnar. I don't know if that's the way they're going to see it. Feel the same way with Brian Cage, but I don't know how they're going to do with that. Anyway, we've got so that's going to be the winner of that match. I think should be Miro, and I think it will be Hangman Adam Page versus Brian Cage. I think that you got Adam Page. Adam Page needs to show that he's strong, because I think eventually they're going to be setting up a championship match with him. So I think that they're probably going to make Hangman Adam Page the winner in this match. Then you have in the Casino Battle Royale, you have Christian Cage versus Matt Sydal versus Powerhouse Hobbs, Penta El Zero Miro, Jungle Boy Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, The Blade, Evil Uno, Colt Cabana, Preston Vance, Griff Garrettson, Brian Pillman Jr. So you actually have a tag team, and another tag team with Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. QT Marshall versus Nick Camarado, Dustin Rhodes. So, I mean, I think that you're definitely going to see some Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall action versus Lee Johnson and versus Unknown. And I think we might get Bryan Daniels. I'm going to say his real name, actually. We might get Bryan Danielson, and that would be pretty cool. I don't know. We might not. I don't know. I'm going to say that if that's a surprise, if we're going to get that surprise, that's a good possibility. But hard to say. Then we've got Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo. You know, they've really been pushing Anthony Ogogo as just with this arm. And I feel like it would be really a shame if they didn't push him past that. So I think that they should make it Anthony Ogogo. And I'm going to go with Anthony Ogogo. Shakira Shida versus Dr. Britt Baker. Everybody is really, really odds-on favorite Britt Baker. And I think it's time to push her and have her be top. I think that would be really good. And then, of course, the main event, which is Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy versus Pac. I think if there's a chance that it's going to leave Kenny Omega this soon, then it's going to go to Pac. And it'll probably be Orange Cassidy eating the pin. That's what I would guess, but I've been proven wrong, and we'll see. So that's my thoughts on that. Now, as far as looking at, and wow, I'm actually it's getting time, but real quick, what do I think will happen on Raw that will be monumental? Something really cool. I don't know. Let's predict that. The Fiend will come back. Yeah, I'll go with that. The Fiend will come back tonight. And I don't know. Unfortunately, probably same old the rest of the night. And those are the predictions. And were watching the 1, 2, 3. Sorry about getting heated, but I really love Jim Ross, and I really hate to see him get a Raw deal. Everybody have a great night.